Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of This Dev Life. This is a show where we talk about our daily lives as developers, issues that we face, and what we do to get out of them. And yeah, please do like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. And let's get the episode rolling. Today, once again, we have Elizabeth Adegbaju, aka Adidi Girl. And um, the last episode was quite interesting because we went through her experience as a software developer and how she transitioned from that to a DevOps engineer and all of the things and challenges that she faced through it. If you haven't seen that, please, I, I advise you go back and take a look or listen to that episode. But on this episode, we're going to be talking about something different, something more interesting, um, like a follow up to that, which is certifications. We want to talk about certifications. And so the reason why we're having this conversation with Elizabeth is quite interesting, is because she has 1,000 AWS
No, no,
certifications.
no, no, you're
She has
exaggerating.
all the AWS certifications.
No, I don't.
I'm
No,
just
I
kidding.
don't.
But yeah, she's been into grabbing some certifications and laying in her hands on as much of them as she can. So we want to know more about this from her perspective. So, Elizabeth, hi.
Hi.
Can you tell us uh, more about your experience with this? Like, what do you think about certifications? Are they important for a developer or a DevOps engineer? What do you think?
This certifications conversation is actually quite controversial
Why?
because, yeah, I've been in conversations like one side arguing they're just papers, then the other side saying they're really important. But
Mhm.
I stand in the middle and say it's relative. It's
Okay.
relative. Yes.
How do you mean?
Because there are different fields, like sectors in this tech space, and it's not every role that you need certifications for.
Hmm.
But for instance, in the cloud space, certifications really matter. You're working with AWS services, certifications matter. You're working with Google Cloud services like Microsoft Azure, like these certifications matter. And there are a lot of reasons they matter. I'll tell you why. Firstly, these cloud providers have a system where these certifications are important, not just to you, but the
Hmm.
company you are working for. So it gives you more value in the company you're working for if you have the certifications. Like when you hear AWS partners, Microsoft Gold partner, like they have this partner system where companies can have relationships with these cloud providers, maybe
Hmm.
as service providers, products, whatever it is that your company does. They have a tier for them, and they grade them based on how many certified professionals that they have in the organization. So, I mean, it would benefit you to be one of those certified professionals. Believe me, if your company is a cloud partner, they will think twice about letting you go when you have the certifications that they need to maintain their partnership with Microsoft Azure or with AWS. Like, that's an example with the cloud space. When you're talking
Hmm.
about security, like ethical hacking, like these organizations, these bodies, they have reasons why the certifications are important. And some of them you won't even be recognized in your field without having the certification. I don't
And
know if
this
my
is
point.
like for like the security people, right? Like it's super
Yeah,
important, right, for them.
like the hacking, yeah, certified ethical hacker or the
Hmm.
pen testing. I think they have some bodies that they belong to, except if you're not part of them, then your ethical part of the hacking is questionable. Yes. For instance, in my company, you can't conduct a well architected review without having the solutions architect's professional certificate.
Oh wow.
Yes, so they put some kind of because it attests to you've been tested and proven to be knowledge about, like, well, yeah, to have all the skills and experience. That's where the controversy is. Like, the people
Yeah.
that have certifications actually have the experience. But yes, at least if they ask you, you'll be able to give the right answer. That's what's important in some situations, to have the right answer to clients, to the problems. So yes, I think they are important in some fields, but then others I wouldn't consider them so important, and I wouldn't be mentioning because I don't want anybody to beat me. But but yes, there are some that I would say okay, certifications, yes. Some I would say like you really don't have to. You can learn it without certifications. But yeah,
Yeah, but I think one of the things that you spoke about that was quite resounding was the fact that this is important for some of the companies to be able to like get like partnerships and whatnot. What about for you, the developer or the DevOps engineer? Like, why is it important for you specifically? You know, like if you want to peel that thing off of the need for getting a job, like of course it's there are certain recruiters that wouldn't even get you into the pipeline if you didn't have that. Maybe if the company actually needs it. But is there like a specific importance for you, the person that
yeah,
owns it,
yes.
besides the
I'll tell you, I've
career
gotten
thing?
some interviews based on some certifications that I have. Like,
Hmm.
the recruiter actually looked for people that have this certification and then
Hmm.
started talking to them to gauge their experience. So if I didn't have the certification, I would have
You wouldn't make the
automatically,
cut. Yeah.
yes, I wouldn't have even been contacted at all. It's quite important because it's important to the company, and they are looking for people who have these certifications. So sometimes they just go filtering for the particular certifications that they want. Like I mentioned, that you can't conduct a well architected review in my company without having the SA Pro cert. And if they're looking for people to take up that role, like we need more solutions architects to staff in well architected reviews, they'll be looking for people that have this particular certification.
Hmm.
And I mean, that kind of tells you what. So some roles, if you know the certifications matter in your niche, like I mentioned, like cloud space now, I want to be into this solutions architect area, then there are particular certifications that would open doors for you. I would advise you get it because I mean it's a plus. It can never be a minus. That's one thing. It can never be a minus having it.
Interesting. So since it's never going to be a minus, what certifications do you have right now? It's taking too long.
No, I'm trying to sort it out because there are
You have too
some
many,
badges.
so
No,
you can't remember all of
no,
them.
no, not yet. It's not yet that many. But
Mhm.
there's some badges that aren't exactly certifications, but well, their credentials are all the same. I'll just talk about everything. The major ones I have are AWS certifications because I have a goal
Mhm.
to get all the AWS certifications. I'm still on the journey, but I have the goal.
Mm.
And then there are some others that I don't know off the top of my head that I did back when I was a software developer. But yes, the AWS ones, I have the AWS Cloud Practitioner,
Mhm.
AWS Solutions Architect Associate,
Mhm.
AWS Solutions Architect Professional,
Mhm.
AWS SysOps Administrator
Mhm.
Associate. Then I have the AWS Security Specialty Certified.
Is that
I
everything?
think like those are the five certifications. Then there's the AWS Well Architected Proficient, and then this AWS Accredited Technical Partner, added like credentials that you take assessment for anyway. But those are the AWS credentials that I have.
So you have like
Uh,
7.
kinda, kinda.
Oh my god, that's insane. That's a lot. Like, how many do I have? Oh no, I need to work on my certification.
You're a boss man.
Hey, don't don't say that. I don't have 7
I mean,
AWS
I
certification.
just started out in DevOps, so I need all the traction I can get. But I
Mm,
started the certifications before I started the DevOps role because I already had interest in the cloud space,
mhm,
and even my final year project was a cloud-based project, but it was on GCP, Google Cloud stuff. Then,
mhm.
so I've always been interested in cloud area. I think it was quite easy for me to explore, and I like learning. So I just switched to certifications because I wasn't in any formal education. Like I'm not doing masters right now or anything. So writing those exams were refreshing for me. Yeah, in that area.
So what have you had to go through to get these certifications? Like, what kind of training and whatnot? What was, what has it been like prepping
Mm,
and getting ready for these certifications?
something that is very let's say important for me was doing it in my own time. I try not to do it during work hours, even though it's allowed. But I would need to log in as training and certifications. Like there have been those opportunities, but I usually did it in my free time after work. So it was just getting into this consistent like routine kind of
Hmm.
where every day after work I had some kind of class scheduled. So I always made sure to schedule a class in a different time zone. So I usually schedule like Pacific time or something like that, where their 9 a.m. is like my 4 p.m. or something like that. So I schedule full day classes.
But was this like, is it like real time classes or
Yeah,
pre-recorded?
no,
Oh,
instructor-led trainings. So I
oh,
I, I went for instructor-led trainings because my company is an AWS partner.
hmm,
So I had access to instructor-led courses made available by AWS,
hmm.
and there were live classes, so it was not pre-recorded or self-paced. It was a full day training. You are on the call, you can ask questions, and that was very important for me because I had experience with AWS but not extensive enough to say, oh, I am an experienced AWS person or something. So it was really important to be on that call, hear from other people that are probably more experienced than I am, asking their questions, talking about their experience in their own companies, and also being able to bring forward my own questions to this instructor that works in AWS. I'm taking AWS exams, so I usually spend a lot of time consuming content created by AWS.
Hmm.
Yes, so instructor-led trainings, and then, like I mentioned, AWS content through Skill Builder. So there's this platform provided by AWS where you can have the full learning paths. Let me put it so you can see learning paths for virtually every certification that you would like to take, and then you see practice questions, you see official exam practice, and just question sets for you to rehearse with. There have been other platforms too, like tutorials, Jujo, a cloud guru, even Udemy with Stefan Malik.
Hmm.
But I always prefer skill builder for my final lap towards the exam. So there's still a special course you would see aside from the learning part. You will see special course where there's exam prep. So it's like compiled. This is not now to teach you, but to ask you questions like, oh, have you studied this? This is like pointers, bullet points, table form, like really final points that you should know before the exam. And yes.
So for this certification that you, or the certifications that you have, um, if I don't have access to a an instructor led, or I don't, okay, let me go, let me just rewind back. If my company is not a an AWS um,
Partner.
partner, how is there a different way to get access to this instructor led training? Is there some, this skill builder that you mentioned, is it something that anyone can sign up and pay to get this access, or is it only available to AWS partners?
So there's the skill builder is available
Hmm.
for everyone, though there is a paid tier. I think AWS partners get some quota of like free spaces where their professionals can sign up, and it's based on the partnership. But skill builder, it's available, and you can also pay for the subscription to have access to hands-on labs and like gamified like AWS quests. But it's available. And then instructor-led classes, there are different categories of it. I'm not sure if every categories available, but there are some paid physical trainings you can pay for your team, for yourself, and you attend in person or online. Then this they ones that I used to register for, I've not tried registering for it without like my official email, but I should think that you would be able to attend some of them without
Hmm.
being a partner. Maybe you might have to pay for it, but it was free because of my affiliation.
That's cool. Um, so I think this is, I think I've asked a bit of this question, but just for you to elaborate more, what are the experiences that you've gained in this pursuit so far?
I am someone that learns to know, or like reads to know. I think that's where the difference might be with some people that have experience, like other experiences with certifications. Like you are reading for the certification, but it doesn't translate to knowledge per se. Passing the exam doesn't mean anything. But for me, it always means something because I don't cram the answers, I don't cram the questions, and I just read to know these things. So I would say that I have grown extensively through this process. All the learning plans that I've gone through, they've stayed with me. All the things I've learned about VPC, security, CIDR ranges, everything has stayed with me. And I can hold conversations about them, I can teach about them, I can implement them. Seeing that there were even labs, there are workshops that you can use like hands on to gain experience. So, yes, I think I have become more experienced through
So
this.
basically, what you're saying is it is possible to prepare for these certifications and actually gain useful and valuable experience from it.
Yes, yes. I think you just make up your mind that this thing, I must know it. It's not me just reading to know to remember the words and tick the answer, but I read it until I know it. Sometimes you see something and it doesn't make so much sense. You have to consult other sources. You have to check the AWS white papers. You have to go in the console and look at what the environment actually looks like, how to implement this thing. Sometimes take a break and try the lab. Like I
Mhm.
think you have to just use all the resources that are available to you to make sure that you know this thing. And that's my goal. It's not just getting certifications, but being the person that wrote these exams and passed it. It's more about being the person for me.
Interesting. And your your goal is to get all the certifications, right? Like you mentioned to me at some point that you want to get the AWS golden jacket.
Yes.
It's called the golden jacket, right? That's what they call the
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
So, what is your motivation to get this golden jacket?
I mean, if there's more, why not keep going? Why do I have to stop here? Like literally, that was the first thing because I got the first one, got the second one, and as you're getting it, the ones that are left for you to get are reducing. So why should I stop here when I'm not done? You don't stop until it's over, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
the truth is, it's never over because after 3 years, you need to
Y-
recertify.
Oh, wow. So, you're just going to do the whole thing again after
Yes.
3 years?
And my friend was advising me not to rush it, like get everything together around the same time because then you have to recertify everything around the
On the
same time.
same time again.
Except if you start recertifying earlier. But yes, that's my main motivation. Like there's still more. There's still the race is still like you've not reached the finish line. So why you stop here? Keep going. And I'm working with someone who has gotten all the 12 certifications AWS minus the extra badges. He has gotten all the 12. And out of those 12, I have gotten five of the actual like certifications and two additional badges. I think working with him keeps motivating me, keeps encouraging me because he has done it and he tells
Mhm.
me I can do it. I think having that kind of support system is good. Like you keep seeing someone that has done it and it looks feasible.
Interesting. So, having someone that's always there and motivating you, like a mentor that has this,
Yeah.
possibly can stand as a good motivator.
Yes. If you are with people that keep telling you that, are you sure you want to do it? Are you sure you can do it? Just shift back because that's not the kind of energy
Yeah,
you
it's
want.
gonna, yeah, the energy is just gonna keep draining
Yeah.
all your energy
Yeah.
from wanting to get the thing. Wow,
Yeah.
that's an interesting goal, and I look forward to it. Like, I, I wish you good luck and look forward to you getting that jacket. And maybe you
Thank
can
you.
motivate me to get the jacket.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there we have it, people. It's been an interesting episode. We've been speaking to Elizabeth, and she's been trying to motivate us to start, getting those certifications. She has 7 badges so far, and she has, like, I think 7 more certifications to go to grab that jacket. Gonna catch them all. So, yeah, you heard it. You heard it firsthand from her, and she mentioned that it is possible to gain. I know this topics are quite controversial, like you mentioned. People are like, uh, people have these certifications and they don't know anything. Uh, Possibly the ones that try to memorize the questionnaire answers and go in there, but from what she's mentioned from her experience, it is possible um, to actually gain valuable experience if you go through the learning path as defined by Amazon, and if you practice the labs and do due diligence. And so, thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing your experience once again. And thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. And that's been it. See you all next time. Bye.